Good morning, everybody. I hope you had a great Christmas. Good morning.
Sure did.
Good morning. We have a great guest with us today. Dun, 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 dun. Dave Ashman. He is a lender in our office that we use a lot, but of course he's available to anyone. So we're going to ask him a couple questions today to talk about rates in the new year. But before we do that, we had a big thing happen last week in the community, and we want to talk about it.
Well, and I know we've been talking about it in our last shows, but it was on the 21st, right before Christmas, the welcome home ceremony for our Jimmy King, our wounded warrior, who he and his family got to see the house and walk through it for the first time. It was an amazing ceremony.
Dave and I were both there.
Both
very cool.
In fact, Sterling's children read the pledge. We tried to get the community.
They didn't read the pledge.
Well,
They knew the pledge.
They recited it. Of course, they recited it. They were wonderful. Meredith Eiler was the master of ceremony, and she is the founder of Helping a Hero. You can look it up. They have a video now running of the event, but it was very moving. That's a great word. The Patriot Guard was there. If you hadn't ever seen that, I had not. It was great. They came in and brought the family in, a huge fire truck with a huge flag.
What Trevor is not telling you is they did a big thank you to Trevor and Tony for all that they did. Trevor helped coordinate a ton of the community support and donations that came in for this.
Well, it really wasn't hard because so many people were willing to give, and that says a lot about Rocky Mount and our community. We were all touched. The process went quickly because we had so many hands helping. And we had House Representative Alan Chesser there, Senator Lisa Barnes, Rocky Mount City Council members J.K. Walker and Lige Dottridge. A nice letter from the mayor, who couldn't be there, but he's going to stop by and see the family this week to welcome them.
And because it went so well.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Because it went so well.
You're going to do it?
Oh! When Bob and Penny Barnhill, I didn't mention them, and I should have mentioned them first. They're amazing, and they made this really happen.
Yeah.
And Bob got up and announced that he was going to make another one happen if Tony would agree, and he certainly did. So we're excited about that. I think they're trying to, nominate a veteran. So lots of. It was a great ceremony, and even Santa came.
That's right.
And Santa's elf was there.
Santa's elf was there.
It really was moving to watch and be a part of.
It was a great event. I think it was well attended. Just very patriotic feel.
Yes, it was. It was kind of nice to be right at Christmas too. It was just.
It really was. What a better Christmas gift than that.
Yeah.
Bass Pro Shop is a big contributor. We had people from there representing them. A veteran, J.P. Lang, sang this incredible song, and local Caroline Purvis sang Raise Me Up. It was beautiful.
It really was. It was special. Well, I'm glad we got to recap the Helping Hero all in the same calendar year, since we've got to start talking about it. And next year we'll get to do another, it sounds like hopefully get to talk about another hero. But let's talk about what we've got to get prepared for 2024.
Well, don't you think everybody's talking about this right now?
Yes.
Rates, lending,
Yes.
It's the hubbub. So we thought, let's do that right.
Let's bring our expert on. So Dave, talk to us about how 2023 has finished up and what you see in 2024 so far as rates.
Okay. Well, rates, of course, it's been quite the crazy roller coaster ride over the past several years. I mean, we went from the COVID years of having rates at 2%, even some under 2%, to this year, the Fed's raising their money offering rate so many times and pushing interest rates, mortgage rates up to over 8% actually this year. They crowned over 8%. So I mean, that's quite the gap or
It's a lot to
spread.
stomach if you had a
Jump.
2%.
If you had a 2% rate and all of a sudden, you think about selling your house and then you go like, good gosh, I got to look at an 8% rate to purchase. But in all fairness, if you look at about a 50-year spread of interest rates over the years, it's not bad still. Even at that 7.5%, 8%, it wasn't bad.
Well, 2% is unbelievable.
Well,
We'll never see that.
2%
right?
you won't have. Yeah, that was just an anomaly. That won't happen again. It really won't. And if it does, I think probably the economy's in a lot of trouble.
Right.
If it does. But just to go back a little bit, in 1971, I think is when Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae first offered a 30-year fixed rate mortgage. And that fixed rate mortgage was introduced at 7.5%.
The very first one.
Very first.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
then it kind of, snowballed into the 80s where you were almost at 20%. Can you imagine that? 20% interest rate.
Dave, I should interrupt you because I should make sure everyone knows how much experience you have. You've been. I should have started with that, Trevor. How long you've been doing this?
Well,
and real estate first.
Yeah, actually, I've got a kind of a three-phase
Career
onto to home building. I was with a major home improvement center that I retired from for 18 years. So I was in the building aspect and supplying aspect for a while. I retired from there and then went into real estate, and was a realtor here in Rocky Mount for a couple years. And
That's
then,
why he's such a good fit for us.
Yes, yes.
He can really talk to our clients and he can talk to agents. He's got a great experience for that.
Thank you. And then when I was a realtor, I was recruited from a banker here in town. I won't mention any names right now, but for a while, and I went kicking and screaming to the lending side because I originally didn't have any interest in that, but it became a great fit. Had a unique look at things, knowing both sides of the lending and the real estate side of it. So that really helped me a lot with dealing with the customers and realtors and builders for that matter.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Builders too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So all right, so if someone has a mortgage right now that's at 8%, talk to us about refi, because I know so many people refied, 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
They did. The rates right now aren't 8%. They've dropped. I'm quoting on conventional rates right now 6 3/8.
Wow.
And on FHA 5.625. So these rates are looking
Did you hear
great.
that?
Yeah,
Five.
five. It
This
began
is-
with a 5.
Yeah, it began with a 5, no doubt. I mean, it should be exciting to people out there that were sitting on the fence. And it absolutely gives people more buying power by by reducing interest rates.
I think 2024 is going to be exciting.
I'm super excited for 2024.
Here in the holiday week, we were just talking about how our phones. I have 2 people that want to see houses today and 2 tomorrow. I know your phone has been
It's been
busy,
busy.
even in
He helped me twice yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, I did. But I think 2024 is going to be a great year. I think 2025 is even going to be a better year. I think from the news we're hearing, the feds are not raising rates. They're actually talking about cutting rates. This is all favorable for interest rates, for mortgage interest rates. And predominantly what's out there right now are not a lot of move-up buyers. It's predominantly first-time home buyers. So the interest rate becomes more and more important for qualifying for these individuals. So rates going down is definitely a positive thing for these people right now.
But talk us through, if someone did lock in a rate at 8%, what is kind of the magic feeling that makes sense for them to refinance?
Well, okay, yeah. So you want to have a rate drop. Now, I'm not sure there's a correct answer to cover everything.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, if you have an 8% rate, certainly right now you can lock into an interest rate probably 1.78% lower. So I mean, it makes sense at that point to refinance. And
Is
everybody.
the rule of thumb at least 1%?
I would say,
Okay.
it just depends on people that maybe have paid their mortgage down significantly, paid additional down. They might want to refinance just to lower their payment. and that have a bigger impact. One thing we did when interest rates were high, right, the 7.5%, 8%, was we did a rate pledge guarantee where we said if you refinance your mortgage that you closed with us in the next 5 years, that we would refinance you without any lender fees and without an appraisal fee.
Wow, that's great.
For all those people that bought houses from me, it's time to refinance.
That's right. They're hearing you.
Yeah, but 2024, I have a great feeling about it. It's already the end of 2024. It's been great. I know a lot of people struggled, realtors, lenders, and whatnot in 2023, but there are also a lot of success stories out there. And I think you people also, two of these success stories are right here, but we know a bunch of them that referral partners have done really well this year as well.
So you have two people that might need to talk to Dave this week. I had two yesterday. Makes me think of them. Both of them are first-time home buyers that
Absolutely.
I had you work with yesterday. So talk the audience through what's the difference in a pre-qualification and a pre-approval.
Okay, very good. A pre-qualification, and you really have to look at the source you're getting the letter from, because there are a lot of people out there, a lot of lenders, online lenders, that type of thing, will kind of, what I just like to call stamp out a pre-approval. They may pull a credit report, they may do a soft pull, only get one credit score. They may just take a verbal, application. They might take just what they're telling them they make as income and issue a pre-qualification letter. The problem with that is once they get the hard facts in, it's different than what they told them. And all of a sudden it doesn't work any longer. So you've wasted time, in a lot of cases money, with due diligence, and it's not very strong. What we will do as a pre-approval letter is actually get the documentation. In a lot of cases, if we're not sure on it or 100% sure, we'll actually send it through underwriting very quickly to get that pre-approval from the underwriter as well.
Just to make sure the buyer feels comfortable with their amount, therefore the transaction will go through when they go under contract.
Absolutely,
okay.
Yeah.
We always say that you've got to feel comfortable with that monthly payment. That's what you're married to.
I preach that. Yeah, it's not how much you qualify for, it's how much the monthly payment is, because it's definitely what you're married to until you either refinance, move, or something.
They really don't have to have a large down payment. A lot of people think, oh my gosh, I have to save a bunch of money to even, qualify for a home. It's not true. You can sometimes we've got new buyer programs that you can be in very little, even 100%.
Absolutely, that's a good point, Trevor. I've closed many loans. I think a bunch on the top of my head here that people have gone in and not spent $1 and closed on a loan, and actually gotten money back for money that they spent on their appraisal. So you go in and buy a house and get some money back. For
it's
money
very
that you
specific
spent.
Programs for that.
It is.
Though.
USDA is one. That's 100% financing. Of course, VA for all our veterans out there, and I do a considerable amount of VA business, which I love. We also offer a 100% FHA program, which is really neat because it's 100% financing. Obviously, it'll encapsulate manufactured homes, which some of the down payment assistance and state agencies will not. It also accepts a lower credit score.
That was another thing. People think you have to have perfect credit to buy a house,
right.
and you really don't. But there are ways that Dave can help you improve your credit score. But you really don't have to have a perfect score.
You don't have it, and that's a good point, Trevor. I'll just use FHA as an example. FHA, we go down to really there's not a limit. Usually there's an overlay of like 580 credit score. I mean, 580. I mean, that's pretty low. And I've closed loans with that in FHA, with that. And, FHA is a strong loan. It's, 3.5% down payment, fixed mortgage insurance, great interest rate.
Great.
So
let's see some new buyers in the market in 24.
That's right.
Absolutely.
It's a great time.
So that makes me think of Trevor and I were talking about last night, a few mortgage myths about having to save so much money. So you've just kind of debunked that when I printed out a
It's
few
never
others
bad,
that she said.
never bad to save money, but you're right, you don't have to on certain programs.
Only
And-
high credit scores.
Is pre-approval guaranteed?
Well, I'll say this, it's the closest thing you can have to a guarantee.
Okay. Okay.
Anything can happen, when you're processing a loan, that's the reason there's processing and underwriting, If not, we just approve them right there at the beginning. But, I've had people that have lost jobs or changed careers right in the middle of processing, or have gone out and bought furniture for their new house, even though we preach don't do anything.
Ooh, we
And
do,
all that.
we do. Don't do that.
Or a new
bet.
car?
Or a new car to go in
car,
that new
car.
garage. Don't do that either.
All this has happened. These are real life stories that people. It's been a challenge. Luckily we found a way.
How to kill a deal.
Yeah.
But once it's in underwriting, it's pretty good. I think you do a good job of working as a team to make sure things stay on track.
And once it's that point, unless something has been missed egregiously, then it should close on time. So.
Well, I know we're running out of time. We were going to end with some of our New Year's resolutions, and I hope that you've started planning some of your New Year's resolutions, but I've loved having Dave come, Trevor.
know.
We're going to have to have
him
him come again. I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
We didn't get through half of our questions,
I
so you have to come again.
I would love to come back anytime.
Yeah,
Certainly
maybe
would.
a mid-year check-in to see
Yeah.
if our projections or your projections are what's happening in the market,
Right,
what updates you can
absolutely.
share. All right, so what's your resolution?
Well, I think this is something you did last year, but I think that we need to revisit our wills and estate. Tony and I need to do that. We did that when the kids were little. Now they're in their 20s. I think that's a good thing for everybody to think about. So that's not too hard to do, but I want to get it scheduled in January.
Very good. Very good. Dave, what you got this year? What's up?
Wow.
Oh, on the spot.
Yeah, on the spot.
Well, I'll tell you what mine is. Mine was this year. So in 23, my goal was to try something new every month with my children that I hadn't ever done before, a new activity.
That's great.
And in 24, we're going to hopefully try a new health-related thing, not just fun. So maybe a hike somewhere we haven't been, or a cooking class or something.
Sterling, I love that. You are such a
Richie.
good mom, and so is John's a great dad. You all are just the greatest
Well,
little
we'll
fam.
see. It makes it easier for me when I just have to think of one thing per month that we haven't done.
That's really a good thing that other people could do, in anything. Just try
Yeah.
one thing a
One
month.
thing. But this year is
Super.
more health focused. So.
Love it.
All right.
Great.
Dave, we're
what you
looking
got?
at you.
Those are great things. I think trying the work-life balance thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Always working on that. Maybe running in a race this year. I don't know. I picked up a little bit of walking, running, so maybe that might be a goal this year.
You've
as
picked
well.
up a lot of walking
Yeah,
and
so-
running.
You have. Exercise is so important in all aspects of your life. It really is.
Well, everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for joining us for the past, 2 months, 3 months, Trevor. We've had a great time finishing out 2023 and really excited about 2024. Hope you have a very happy new year, and we'll look forward to seeing you soon.
And feel free to call if you need anything at all, any advice.
Yeah.
Dave's available as well.
Absolutely.
And the number's out there for Moorfield Real Estate.
That's right. Thank you all. Have a
Yep.
good day.
Happy New Year.